Hey, what's up, everyone? How you doing? And we're live. And tonight I'll be talking about uh, just a little bit about this plant here that I got. Got one, at least one ripe pod and one on its way. It's ripe for the most part, but I'm just going to go ahead and do a little chat on it, and then you know cut it open and then take it from there. Give me a second. Let me set this up. Yeah, then I'll even show a few plants and then maybe do something else and see how that goes. So, yeah. But if anybody's got any questions or anything, feel free to ask. And, even if you want, maybe I'll see about having some people come on if they want to. So, now, I'll just go ahead and take a look at this. Um, Quick question for Rob and Russ. Hey guys, but that's not the question, but this is a question. I'd like to know if you guys can see me on the screen. If you can, give a thumbs up on the icon on the chat so I can see. I just want to be sure. All right. Cool, cool, cool. All right, guys. Um, what's up, Russ? How's your Saturday going? And Rob, how's your Saturday going? All right. I'll just show a couple plants here real quick. I don't have as many plants in here as what I did before, but I do got a handful of plants still in here. Basil's over there. This is that little purple scorpion. And just to kind of give you a little perspective, as it is a few feet tall. But if you can see this little container right down here, that is that's in what it's in. It's in literally in a little bit of soil and in a pint-sized container. Give me a second. Let me get a better camera angle right here. This is the one that's called Purple Scorpion. And take a look at a few more plants. And there's that basil again. I still got a few handfuls still in that seed thing that could have been taken out a long time ago. But no, just been seriously putting it off. And then, yeah, some of these are in little styrofoam cups. A few other plants are in hydro. This one's in hydro. But, yeah. Hold on 1 second. I gotta see what the dog is barking about. Hey. Be nice. Come on. Sorry about that, guys. Dog was saying, swear saw something outside. Isn't that right, Sophie? Did you see something? Huh? Come here. Mm-hmm. No. Alright, look. Alright. There's Sophie down here. She just being silly. She's just barking at some stuff. But it's alright. Very good. Sorry about that. But yeah, um, just gonna take it where I left off. Yeah, clear some things, move some things around. What you doing, Sophie? Huh? It's okay, Sophie. It's okay. It's okay, girl. There's nobody in here, okay? You don't need to be making all that noise. It's okay, though. Thanks for the alert, though. Yeah. Thought you saw something, didn't you? It's okay. It's okay. You're right. You're a good girl. Yeah. Hey, hey, hey. Don't even get yourself worked up. It's pretty warm out, okay? You're good. Alright. I would pull her a little closer here, but the fan from the noise from the fan little noise thing from the light, she doesn't like getting near that. She gets a little leery about some noises and stuff. So. Isn't that right, Sophie? But, alright. Let's you go over there and find a couple of spots. There you go. Alright, guys. Alright, I'm gonna take a look see on here. Alright, back to what I was saying. I was just talking about the purple scorpion over there. Um, at least that's what the person that gave them to me said they were. I'm just gonna go along with that because that's all they gave from the information they gave me, and I haven't grown them before, so I had them for like a few seasons now, and I just kind of didn't really realize I had them until I actually started, messing around looking through my seeds. I mean, there's seeds I've had for a number of years, and just sometimes I won't see them for quite a while until I actually, go through. But I mean, any gardener, most gardeners, that happens, or any growers. So, but as all right, now back to what I was saying, talking about. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and do this, and I'll get the. And, right. Maybe this is 100% right, but I mean, with the under the light, it doesn't look like it's fully right. But another pod on there, a group of other pods. I don't think it's quite fully there, but I'll save a couple seeds from this pod just in case, and then I'll wait for the other ones to get the actual darker color. And yeah, but as you guys can see, if you look at the top, it does have the purple calyx, and but if you, I mean, you can see it has some of that shading on it, but I'm saying, but if you can, with this pepper, it doesn't, I mean, since it's supposed to be, I'm going with that as cross, but with this, it's in a actual pint-sized container. You probably see them at most stores where you get the little small starter plants in, and then there's literally pint-sized, and some of those size ones, and I actually started, I got them in there, and then I've just been leaving it there ever since. So, I mean, another look at the plant. I'll just go into like this, and now some of the leaves, if you can tell, are in the purple coloration, and that little container down there by the bottles and the cups is that, and as you can tell, it is loaded up with pods. Uh, let me check the chat. Hey, Brian. This is a nice pod. Um, Now, if any of y'all would like to come on the panel, y'all can just, message me and let me know. But as I'm looking at this this pod, I can see it's not the smoothest. So, and yeah, it's very interesting because the peppers do come out with a purple coloring on them, and sometimes they'll be shaded with the color, then they'll phase to a different color at the bottom. A couple of pods will be more fully on more of that fuller color as it started out, and then as it's coming along, it seems to be shifting to the color you see here. But I'm not quite sure this pod's fully ripe, but I'm just doing this for the sake of the video. And yeah. Yeah, it does look like it's gonna be a burner. I had tried a couple of these since none of them have ripened yet. I've had a couple of these since when they were unripened, and they do have not a bad flavor, but it was more of a greenish kind of a taste to it. But it did have some heat, and I'm just more eager to try this out as it is like here right here. Alright, let's see. Alright, if we get that out there, we got most of it. Most of the calyx off. Alright. Ooh. Alright. Oh, nice. Now the color, they actually is running across the placenta, like the vein running down the middle. Probably won't be able to show it too well on here, but it does have some placental tissue. Well, I'm not sure. Like I said, I don't think this was fully ripe, so I don't know if I'll be able to save the seeds from this. But I mean, I'll save the seeds, but I can't guarantee they'll be fully viable. I'll have to test them out. But I'll have to on the next few peppers. I'll leave them on a bit longer, so I can guarantee that they will be ready. But I am liking the smell. And it smells slightly fruity. Not really so floral, but does it have something similar to the effect of a scorpion in there? Right. But here, let's see if I can do the. If you can see right inside the vein there. So, alright, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get some of these seeds. Probably not all of them, but just a handful. Now, when I to extract seeds from any certain pod that I choose, and I do what I can do not to disturb the placental tissue as much as at all possible. I mean, like say if I have multiple of pods that are just virtually identical, then I'll just save seeds from the one pod and then do it like that, and then really depends on the situation. Now it's got a nice amount of seeds, but not crazy amount. Alright. Now I got a lot of seeds out, but not all of them. But as y'all can see, I didn't really disturb much of the placenta tissue. And look at the vein. The vein's got the purple hue to it. Those got that smell that I'm actually kind of like. Alright, I'm gonna check the check. Give pepper a review. Good. It does got a nice smell. Hmm. Wow. if you're wondering what I'm doing, there's a few of the seeds right there. Just gotta think of a spot to set it, so me or either the dogs here knock them over. Yeah, we got too many options right now. We got a lot of space taken up here. Well, I do got options. It's just that a lot of spots around over there, and I have to go through a little obstacle course to get to them. Now back to the pepper. Now it does got that really hot sting to the pepper. It's all over the tongue. Well, not all completely over, but evenly through the mouth area. Not exactly on the tip of the tongue right now. Getting those sores starting more of the top of the tongue. Now it's going down the sides of the tongue, into the back, and does have a slight air of fruitiness. And it's like a hint of floral in there. Not highly full. Very tasty. It is hot. Now the heat's creeping back. You can feel it getting to my airway. And this is one of those ones you can feel slowly creeping back. And it is hot, but it's like not overly hot. Wow. Now, for some people that aren't used to spicy, this would be pretty hot. Or don't handle spicy very well. Now I can feel it on my gums, a little bit on my lips, make my mouth water. Um, but in general, I could see continually growing this one. Nice. Got a couple of seeds floating around right here. Wonder what this will be like growing in the ground. Because it's got a nice structure to the plant. Being pretty productive for being in that pint-sized container. And it's pretty eager to produce. What's up, Sophia? You okay? Yeah, good. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. That was pepper burp. Sorry, dog's getting a bit warm. I would run a fan in here, but certain things she gets a little leery of. Not leery in a bad way, but leery like, like the sound of something makes her unsure of it. Like the sound of the fan the fan whirring in the engine for it makes her a little uneasy in a way. But, um, the other dog not so much, but he just gets unsure sometimes, so, but it's alright. Back to the pepper. Now, I would really consider growing this one again. I mean, I am really doing that. I'm gonna try some of these seeds out, but I'm not fully sure that they will germinate because of the pod pit may possibly been a little not quite fully ripened, but it could have been. It's just the way the light is in here; it doesn't give off the certain color to be able to tell with certain pods that they're fully to their ripened stage. I mean, with some pods I know, but I haven't really grown this one particular one as much. So, sorry, my mouth is still a little watering from the pepper. Yeah, I'd like to see how that grows. If this one's got that kind of a structure to it in that plant size container, I'm thinking that plant would be a lot bigger. But, um, but yeah, now the heat had peaked about a minute or so ago, but with this one, it's got that nice even warmth and heat just lingering around. It's not overbearing. It's just that it's not a stingy burn or anything like that. It's just one that the heat's kind of fading, but it doesn't fade away to just all of a sudden there's no heat. You can still feel the heat there, but not like anything bad. But it is nice. So when I get that other one to any of the other ones to a point that I know are right, I'm definitely going to have to save seeds for them. And if I can get enough seeds, I'll see about doing a bit of a giveaway with them. So if anybody would like any of the seeds for it, be sure to let me know. But I'm not trying to jump the gun too much with the seeds. I just gotta wait till I get the more seeds to be sure. I'm going to test the seeds that I got now to, or as of this video, we want to test them to see if they'll be quality or nice seeds because I'm not sure if that pod in particular was at the right stage. But at that point, that stage right there was really tasty and nice seed, and yeah, I can see growing that one again. With that, I could even see making yeah, I could see actually making a sauce or something out of that one. Salsa. Even cook with that, definitely. I mean, yeah, definitely. I think what I'll do is, since I got a few of those left, I'll just test them out in the aero garden, test out a couple of seeds. Um, yeah, let me get that light going again. There it goes. All right. But yeah, definitely going to go for growing that one again. And and for, and they're not really particularly thick walled. But that's not bad. They still got a nice crispness to them. But Uh, Now, if any of you guys that are in the chat right now want to be put on the reserve list for a few of the scenes, by all means. But you have to remind me, uh, about that, because I got a few things going on, and I just don't want to, you know, think that you guys would think I'll be forgetting about you or nothing, because I won't do that. Just I'll write it down as well. Hey, Sophie, it's okay. It's okay. Good girl. Yeah. But in regards to anything else on here, I was going to do. Let's see. Shoot, I was thinking about doing messing around with plant mine. Let's see. Got to. I don't know if I got the area to do this right, but we'll see. Alright, here's this guy mine. Take a look at this leaf on this guy. Uh, and prop this one up to get you straightened up a little bit. Alright, now, I have to use that flower there. Got enough food in there? Yes. Yeah, this is a transferred it out of the Arrow Garden within the last week or something. But it's actually got some flowers, a few, but they haven't opened. One's about to open. And, well, since I moved some stuff around, alright, I'm going to do it this way. Got another pair over here. Alright. But, let's, but, let's, if any of you guys, if, let's say any of you guys in the chat right now, if you feel like it, you can come on the panel. Just let me know. Oh, here. Let's see if I can get you guys on camera while I'm doing this, but that's not going to be the best angle. So here, I'll have to move this because I do not need to dump that. That's the one thing I got out here that do not need to dump. Alright. Alright. There you go. Now, cool. I was just saying, if you guys want and chat while I'm doing this, or come up on the panel and chat while we're doing this. That's cool. Um, but that's up to you. No pressure. Um, but, if you guys got any questions, let me know. Right now, it's all right, Rob. That's really up to you what you want to do, man. I'm probably not gonna be on here all too long. I was just gonna mess around and do this, chat about that pepper, and wasn't planning on here staying on here all night. Is all you dig. So if you want to just jump off for a few minutes and then talk about a couple things and then take off, that's fine. That's cool. That's all right, Rob. That's all right, Rob. You don't have to if you don't want to, man. I'm not gonna be on here all night. I was on Rev stream pretty late last night anyway. Ooh, I need a flashlight for this thing. Man, this is really well lit. Oh, man. Shoot. Just need a little small pen light or something. Uh, Brody himself. That actually does happen, and it happened with a strain a while ago. But I mean, I thought it was pretty good, but I don't know, I didn't keep up with it. But I know a lot of people have had that happen, which is pretty cool when it does. I mean, I've heard that some pretty cool strains have come about like that. Trying to get this. I don't know. Ooh, I hope I didn't damage the flower too much. Yeah, I know these little flowers and those plants are getting a little sensitive when they're in the hydroponics. Well, and plus this one's still trying to bounce back from being switched from the AeroGarden to this. Hey, Julian, how you doing? Yeah, I know the feeling, Julian. I was up late too last night, so I mean, I was there with you. All right, let's see if I can get this going right here. Yeah, oh yeah, what I'm doing here, I got some pollen saved up. Probably can't see it too well, but hey, what up, David? Yeah, what's up, Ruby Slippers? I'm all right. Mm, now, got some pollen right here. All right, looks like it's got some on there. Hey, what's up, Charles? How you doing? All right, let's see if I can get more pollen on this guy here. But as I said, if anybody wants to come up on the panel today or tonight, probably just let me know and see what we can do. All right. Probably shouldn't be fiddling with this pedal on this piston on the flower too much. But I know how sensitive these guys are. All right. I'm all right, David. How you doing? Hmm. Alright, just I know I got plenty of pound on there, but definitely just want to be sure. Right now, stick me good. Now, hopefully, the now I don't know. We'll have to see about that. I just don't want to move that around too much. Uh, right now, I'm just gonna readjust where the camera's at. Alright, let's see. The variety I was pollinating, Rubio's, was a strain of mine that's it was a jalapeno type, a jalapeno hybrid strain. It was just one that I've dubbed Brando Crunch, and it actually is just a nice, a very nice jalapeno type variety. It wasn't one meant to be the hottest jalapeno. It was just, well, I was just getting it to come out to be it was pretty crunchy. It'd be really great for pickling and slices and anything like that. What I was just doing was getting pollen from one of my other crosses and then putting the pollen on this one. So yeah, I was just messing around. I seen I had the pollen and noticed that the flower looked like it was ready. So just kind of was just trying to see how that goes. I mean, it's just an experiment. Uh, but yeah, but I'll take a look around with some of my other plants. So yeah, so I mean, hold on, I think I got a message. But yeah, um, yeah. So I got a good number of plants outside, and yeah, And I'll go ahead and take you guys for a look-see on some of these plants here. Alright, but nice, Ruby. Alright. Now, let's see. Still a little warm in here, but yeah. Alright. But the thing I know I'm saying but a lot in the video. And for that pepper I just had earlier, the one that somebody told me that was, or the person I got from said it was a purple scorpion. That will be interesting to get those seeds going. But I have to see.
What's up?
What's up?
Just hanging out.
How's it going? Yeah. How you doing?
Doing good. Worn out. I went pretty hard earlier. I came back around midday, but me and one of my buddies met up around 7 a.m. and went out and fished until
Oh,
2,
okay.
2:30, and some storms started to roll in. We would have stayed out longer, but storms rolled in, so I came back and did some stuff around here and stayed busy, and then made dinner a little or I guess it's been a while now. It's been a few hours, but made dinner and hung out and just been chilling. Gonna crash here in a little while. It is kind of up in the air as to what my schedule is tomorrow because there's that storm from down on the coast that's been blowing waves of stuff up here, and the weather's kind of back and forth iffy. You can't really tell like what exactly it's gonna do yet. So I'm not sure
Yeah.
when it's gonna, but it's supposed to rain tomorrow, and we're gonna get
Yeah.
more waves of storms. I'm just gonna kind of play it by ear, and I'm gonna get up early and be ready in case we might go out
Yeah. I
early.
get you
But
on that.
one of my good buddies, though, like one of my best friends for, I mean, close to 2 decades, his like fiance and their baby went out of town today to go to Los Angeles, where she's from, and go stay with her family and stuff for a little bit over a week. And she's usually real particular about how much time he gets to go out for. So a lot of times when we go fishing, it's just for
Yeah.
like few hours, and then she's like ready for him to come back home, especially now that they got a newborn and stuff. And uh, he's just kind of trying to take advantage of the fact that she's on a trip and he's alone at home, and he can do whatever he wants and stay out as long as he wants. So me and him were kind of planning on doing as much fishing as
Yeah.
we can this weekend. But that's all I got going on. That, and of course just taking care of the peppers and making sure all my gardens are looking good, which It rained some this afternoon, which is a blessing, and everything's looking awesome.
Yeah, and the weather's getting pretty hot right now. I mean, at least it feels hot. But I mean, today I actually left a lot of my plants out in the full sun for most of the day. They were wilting pretty hard, but I still left them out there. And after mid afternoon, they were bouncing back up. So I think a lot of them might be ready to just go ahead and put in the ground. But, so
What's up, Scott? I see you just popped up in the chat.
yeah,
Yeah, one of my buddies, where I've got 30 plants over at his house and his garden strip. I've got like the top corner of, or the top section of the garden strip that he has over at his place. He sent me a picture today and he was like, "Your peppers are looking awesome." I hadn't been over there and even checked on them in over a week because he knows what he's doing, and I trust his judgment. If it was anybody else, I'd be like more on top of it to like make sure that they're doing good. But I went over there and did some weed control, and we laid down some like weed barrier fabric in between the rows, and then like covered everything with straw. And um, he messaged me today though and sent me a picture, and he was like, "Dang, your peppers are doing awesome." And he was like, "What the heck is this one that looks like a beanstalk?" And I was looking at it because I have a grid drawn out of like where the placement of things are, and I think it's one of my reapers that's like, it's like almost 2 foot tall. And I swear the thing was like 8 inches like a week ago or 2 weeks ago. It was good,
yeah.
but it's
Yeah,
good.
that's
The
being on that sun. The sun really makes them boost up real quick.
Yeah, the spot that I'm at over there gets like most of the day sun. I mean, from like morning until evening, it's like a very open area. And not only that, it's like on the downslope from some horse pastures. And it's like in an area where they used to dump a bunch of horse manure and stuff. So it's like real good fertile ground. And
Yeah,
I mean, that garden always grows big plants. So I'm looking forward to seeing how my stuff does there. And I asked him because there were some I was worried about. There were some kind of small plants that I'd put in there. It was kind of the scraps of what I had left, just my overflow rather than giving away extras or whatever. I just tried to find places I could put them. And he had told
yeah,
me beforehand that I could put stuff there. And I did put a handful of like some nicer plants in there, nicer starts that I had going. But some of the ones I put in there were real small. And he said some of them are still small, but he said everything looked like it was doing good. And there weren't any missing plants or anything that had died. And, there's a bunch of guineas out there, and I think the guineas, before we had laid down anything and when it was real dry, the guineas had been kind of digging dust bowls in there, and uh, one of the plants got ripped up out of the ground one day. I think it was an orange Vitali scorpion by the picture that he sent me of the placement of where it was. I looked on the grid of where I had it drawn out, and I'm pretty sure it was an orange Vitali scorpion, and it was
yeah,
completely up out of the ground and wilted and dead looking. He was like, "Yeah, this one didn't make it," but I looked at the picture and I was like, "Nah, man, like that one looks fine. You just need to replant it and give it some water." And he did that, and it dropped some of the leaves, but the top stayed alive and everything. And he said that one's even bounced back and is doing really good. So I'm excited to hear that and hearing the next in the next week, I'll go over there and go check on things and see how things are doing. I'm not like too worried about it because I kind of just put extra stuff over there. I've got duplicates of everything that I put there here, except the one thing that I have over there that I don't have here is I have my Bootla DMs over there, and I've got 4 of those, and then I've got like 5 Reapers, but those are all the ones that are doing really good and getting really big. So
Yeah.
cool. It'll be cool to see how like my plants do there versus here, and then also at another friend's house up the road from me where I've got another 30 plus plants.
Yeah. It always feels better when you can get your plants outside and everything, you know?
Yeah. Now I don't have to watch all those cups like when I had them all on my back porch, and yeah, I'd go out for like 30 minutes to run an errand or something and come back and they'd be all wilted and looking bad, and I'd pick up the cups and they were like weightless because on that concrete patio in full sun they would dry out in like a matter of minutes, it seemed like. So I had to constantly stay on top of watering them, and I mean sitting in
Yeah.
water.
Well, if you had it on something like concrete, concrete gets pretty hot pretty quick.
Yeah, I
So
mean it's
yeah.
good for plants and it's good for the growth, but it's bad for keeping them moist. So I had to really stay on top of that, and going and individually watering 100, 200 cups is not fun. I made it through it, and that's what matters, and everything's okay now. And honestly, I haven't even been watering any of my stuff, even though it hadn't been raining much. Uh, I gave them
Yeah.
enough water that I'm just kind of letting them go. I usually have more of a tendency to overwater things, not necessarily overwater, but I when I see them start looking bad, I want to give them water, and it doesn't let the roots go down deep enough. And this year, I've been really holding back from that, and I've noticed right away that they're doing better, and they'll be doing better, especially when the heat of the summer comes and it gets real dry because their roots are going to go down deep and find water on their own.
Yeah. Yeah. You just kind of what I've figured out with me in my case, I've kind of learned to try to judge the soil in the areas that it's in because the garden area I plant at, there are some areas that tend to hold the moisture more than others,
Yeah,
and and one part of it's kind of got some kind of bits of pea gravel in there because at one point years ago, I gotta think somebody had used that as a spot to park in their car, so that's why there must have been so much little pea gravel and stuff there, and and then at this other end, you know, since there was a small little sandbox years ago. Some of that sand from that sandbox got mixed into this other end, and the soil is just nice, and you can pick it up and just kind of spread your hand with it, and it'll just be real flaky and light, and kind of like almost like if you get a good quality seed starting mix almost, and then it'll just almost feel like that, but it's actually dirt.
yeah,
So I mean, it's actually got some good stuff in the one side. I like the one side more than the other, but because I don't know, they're both good sides, but they both side each side has its own kind of subtle differences. So, but yeah, I don't know. I just kind of we've also been learning like like how much of some plants can actually take. You know how durable certain ones are.
Yeah. What's up, BD Beats? And dang, Scott, I see that you said it was 106 there today. That's just brutal. That's not even fun. That's like way out of my comfort zone. 76 is like getting to the end of my comfort zone, which it's been hotter than that here, but that's like my comfort zone. 106, that's hell.
Yeah, I like it hot. I mean, but then if you get the humidity going in there, the humidity just kind of makes it rough. I mean, because it can get pretty humid over here.
Yeah,
And
luckily where Scott's at, it's not so humid. He's got dry heat. I was talking to him about that the other day, and he said it's real dry there. Um, so it's not so bad. And I've talked to friends that are from here that have gone out west. Like one of my buddies moved to Arizona for a while and then came back, and he was like, dude, it'd be like up over 100 degrees there and be nothing. But then you come back to here when it gets into like the mid 90s and the humidity's high, it just it feels way worse. You can't even breathe. It's so bad, and where I live, especially because I'm down low in the kind of river valley, creek bottom area, and the humidity is always high. Even if it says on the weather that the humidity isn't that high, the humidity is always high here because I'm close to water and down in that low.
yeah, they
So
can't. I
when
don't know.
temperatures get up
I
there, that humidity gets.
in regards to the news, I was kind of I don't fully listen to everything they say on the news because I know it kind of varies depending on from spot to spot a little.
Yeah. The particular area that I live in is horrible for the humidity though. It gets
Yeah.
bad. I mean, I always describe it to people as breathing over a bottle, or not over a bottle, but breathing over a pot of boiling water. It's like breathing hot soup.
It's like going in a sauna almost, where you just breathing that hot moisture.
Yeah, it sucks.
Almost, not quite the same, but close.
Yeah. That's why it's not the same as that, but that's why I say it's almost like holding your head over a pot of boiling water because you just like can't get a good breath of air.
Yeah. Oh, man. But
You got any big plans for Memorial Day?
not necessarily.
You gonna make
I
some
mean,
barbecue spice burgers?
I was thinking about cooking, but I mean, I was debating on whether or not I should cook tomorrow or the next day. Man, these
Well,
roots are popping
got
out like
Monday.
crazy. What?
Might as well do it Monday. That's the day to do it.
Yeah. I just checked the roots on this thing. It wasn't even didn't even have roots popping out yesterday. Huh. Now it's got some roots hanging out. Mm. Yeah. It looks
Awesome.
like this guy's going to have to go out in the next few weeks. Yeah. Yeah. There's a couple plants. A lot of some of my plants I just decided yesterday or earlier today is just like since I can keep more of an eye on 'em, I was just going to go ahead and just let them sit out in the sun. If I was going to notice some started not responding too well, I was just going to pull them in. or put
Yeah.
them in the shade. And
Do you have a side of your house or garage or somewhere where it stays shaded but gets indirect light?
the only spot that I have a spot that like when it starts getting warmer out, like around late May, the angle of the sun changes a bit. So
Yeah.
so like right towards the back side of the house, after it gets to a certain time, the that's the spot that tends to get more shade. But I mean, I was just trying to leave them just out enough where they're in the sun. No, because I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to do this and see how they respond. Because some of them I knew could handle it, and some of them not so much. I mean, but a lot of them I just said, you know what, F it, just put them right out there.
I
And
just took all mine out. I just kind of did the live or die policy and
yeah, I
made it.
mean,
I did.
I knew a lot of them. I knew a lot of them were just ready for it. It's just that since we had that so many days of it was overcast, rainy, stormy, that just threw off my hardening off process, man. I
Yeah,
had some that were just ready, and just within a day or so of being ready, and
I
then
left
that
them out and
overcast rain
let
came
them
about, then it just kind of reset it. It was just like, damn it.
when I'd first moved my stuff out, it was perfect.
Oh, I
But then,
mean,
like, rain and everything got dumped on to the point that the plants had so much water that I was getting a lot of yellow leaves and stuff. But I just didn't water anything, left it all alone. Eventually, it dried out, and the problem corrected itself. Especially once I started planting stuff. Even some of the stuff I planted still had yellow leaves, but it's all
yeah,
corrected. And the new growth and everything's been fine. But yeah, and also I had another curveball thrown at me that when I first, which it was later than normal, but when I first started wanting to harden them off, uh, I had a couple nights, like a few days into it, I had a couple nights that was getting into like the upper 30s, and so I had to move them back in overnight and then move them back out, and that was a pain in the ass. And I swore after the last time, I'm not moving those things back in, not one more time. And then there was like some big storms that came through, and I just said, "Fuck it! Like if they make it, they make it." And they all made it. I didn't have any casualties, so that was good. But I'm lucky that the front side of my house faces south and the back side of it faces north. So that north facing side, the little bit of the overhang and just the way that the sun moves over casts a bit of a shadow on my patio. And I went out there a few days before I'd ever moved them out, and I kind of made sure of where that shadow line was. And I put everything as close to the sun as I could, but still in the shade, and kind of eased them from that into the sun until they were all sitting in direct sunlight. And that worked out great for me. I've honestly, before this year, I've never started anything indoors like that. I've always just started my stuff outdoors. So I've never really played with that whole hardening off process. And I was like
yeah,
scared shit about it. I'm not even gonna
yeah.
lie. Like I like lose everything, and especially the first time or two that I brought out some plants and they started getting like wilted and a couple got sunburned. I was like, this is gonna be hell to try and figure this out, but I was able to pull it off and did it with a lot of plants too, and it worked out.
Yeah, I get really annoyed with doing that whole hardening off process because you gotta get to know where the sun's going to be at certain times of the day and know where to position them, and then you gotta anticipate for times you might not be there, and
Yeah,
then you gotta think about the weather, you gotta think about this, and it's just like, and
yeah, I'd
then
go out for like a couple hours and be away from home, and then it would start to get like super hot and super sunny when it had been cloudy, and I'd be like, damn, like I hope that they're okay, but I just kind of let everything stick it out, and it did okay. I think
Yeah, I mean,
in
like
the
as I mentioned
wanting
before, this year was a
control,
little different for me because I had to deal with being working on first shift compared to working on second shift, and normally I'm used to working on second shift, which would make it doing the whole hardening off process a lot easier. Because then I can, if I need to move them at certain times during the day, I can do that no problem. And then I'd go into second shift, and then I could leave them out in the afternoon sun, and then they'd be all right. Yeah. But yeah. So is there any kind of ones you're looking forward to this year? I mean, pepper plant wise.
a lot of different ones. I don't even know. Honestly, probably 60% of the stuff I'm growing this year I've never even had before, so I got a lot of stuff to look forward to. I just kind of went crazy with different varieties this year because I decided I was going to go big. And the most I've ever grown before in a season's like in the 30-ish plant range. I mean, maybe close to 40, but that's like about as much as I've done in a season. Sometimes a lot less. And so going up over 100 is a big jump, but I've done enough of it for long enough that I know what I'm doing to where I feel comfortable to do that. And so far, everything's doing good. I mean, the hard part's already done. Once they're in the ground and they kind of do their own thing, they just do their own thing. The only part that's going to present any bit of a challenge for me is just going to be harvesting and figuring out what to do with all the peppers, which one of my main things this year I'm going to do is just dry a lot. I mean, I'll definitely save pods for sauces and I'll eat a good bit of pods, but I mean, there's no way in hell that I could eat all the pods from 150, 200 plants. That's just not possible. I mean, I guess it is, but only if I
Yeah.
went on like a sleep pepper diet.
Yeah. I mean, when all my pods ripen, I mean, I usually get them going. When they get them going pretty good, it's like at first it'll start with a few pods here or there. The next thing I know, I'll have like about you know, so many popping up on each plant just right away, all ripening at once, and it's like, oh snap, I gotta start eating a lot more peppers.
Yeah,
I mean, it's because like when they start ripening, it's like it seems like they just do it all at once.
yeah. It's always that way. You get that first couple stragglers that are early bloomers, and you get those first few pods, and then that next set that sets in is usually a big wave, and it may do half that wave at first and then half that wave second, but it's before you know it, there's a bunch of pods on their ripe, and when you've got a bunch
Yeah,
of plants, it's a bunch of pods all at once. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. Luckily, my buddy's got a couple big, tall dehydrators, and he's got a big smoker, and I've got a dehydrator, and I'm probably honestly gonna get another dehydrator, and I'll be able to dehydrate and smoke a bunch of peppers this year, which is what I'm going to do with a lot of stuff. Just dry them and then make powders and stuff as I need them or as I want them. Just dry them, and that way I don't have to worry about them going bad. I might try and get rid of some fresh pods here and there if I can to people that are interested. But drying them is going to be one of my main focuses, and then make sauces here and there as well.
I don't know. I've been thinking about, maybe selling or sending some pods here and there out. But I'm gonna have to be careful with some of mine because there's a lot of some varieties that I got that I'll definitely have to get a certain size box for in order for them to fit in. I mean,
Yeah,
so I know I can definitely with a lot of certain ones. I definitely cannot use a small flat rate box. Uh, I mean, with the size of some of those pods, there's no way someone would fit in there. But um, yeah, I don't know. I'm just looking forward to seeing how some of this stuff turns out. Uh, and then this year I'll probably go ahead and grow a few extras indoors. I mean, probably run some experiments on them.
yeah. One of the ones I'm excited for this year is seeing how those yellow jackets do. I had hopes of planting a bunch of them, but I got kind of carried away with starting seeds and new varieties and stuff and ran out of space. And I could have started some later, but they're so slow going that I just figured I'd be happy with the two that I got. But I got two of them that made it. I had a third one
Yeah.
going first, but it was just still a seedling and it didn't make it. But two of them made it, and I'd started them a good while ago. They actually just forked uh, today or yesterday, or started forking, and I noticed they've got a few little buds on them, and they're starting to put out side shoots down below. But I'm excited
Okay.
to see how those yellow jackets do in their second go around because they're F2. So not sure how they'll turn out. I'm sure the flavor seemed and the smell, flavor, and heat seemed pretty consistent in them.
Oh
So
yeah. A lot of times that seems to be what sticks the most is the flavor and heat
yeah,
on a lot of ones that the hybrids and that. But there's going to be variations. I mean, I don't know.
it threw out a lot of different phenos and even different colors. I mean, it was all still mostly yellow, but some of them got a little bit more orange than others. And the ones that I'm going after are more of a vibrant yellow and have this kind of three-sided look to them with a little bit of a point to them. They're real nice, the pheno that I'm going after, and that was predominantly the pheno that popped up. I mean, that was like the main pheno, but there were all kinds of other different weird-looking ones, of course.
Yeah, that's the thing is, I mean, I actually like it when they like to see pod variation on strains. Um, like yeah, even on just regular ghost peppers, I like to see pod variations on them. Um, but uh, especially like peach ghost scorpions, man. They have wild variations on them. That's one thing I like about that type of strain is that you never guaranteed exactly what kind of phenotypes you're going to get with that.
That's one that I've
And
never had before. I've got a couple up
uh,
going this year, but I've never had that peach scorpion.
uh, man, those ones. I'll just I can let you know on that. It does have some good heat, good nice strong heat, but the flavor. At first, I wasn't sure, but after trying a couple of seasons of trying it, I actually come to really appreciate the flavor on that strain because it's got some pretty decent flavor for it. But
What's up,
I
Dave?
mean,
Dave's in the chat.
yeah, yeah, I was just saying hi to him. He's a CT gamer. Hey, uh, what's up, Dave? How you doing?
Dave, I still got mine ready to go whenever. I'm good to go. The infamous Death Nut Challenge. I've had mine for a long time, but the only reason I've held on to it so long is I got volunteered by Dave or somebody. I don't know who it was, but I got informed that I was volunteered to do it in this whole group thing because everybody knew I had them. Whenever I had finally gotten them from Eber, I had a lot of stuff going on and my AC was out and I was trying to get that fixed and I was super stressed out, just had a lot of stuff going on. And I told Eber, I was like, yeah, like I'll do that here soon, but I got stuff I got to take care of right now. I just couldn't think about doing that. And then by the time I was getting that stuff taken care of, they were like, oh, yeah, we're all going to eat them together on the live stream. So I guess that's the plan.
Yeah. I don't know. I figured just some of you guys had them, but you know.
Charles was the one that put me on the spot. Well, that's good because Charles got them too, and Charles told me I'm never going to eat those death nuts, but he's got them now, and he's going to do it. So it'll be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, we see
I'm
a lot of. I noticed a lot of people have been getting them, but I just been I figured when I got them, it was actually kind of cool that the guy sent them to me.
yeah.
Um,
So they were pretty
um,
good. I mean, you see,
no,
you
actually,
enjoyed
yeah,
them.
the number two, I like the flavor on number two, and as it got to like I forgot which number it was, but I know it was like three or four or something. I didn't care for their flavor as much, but um, but as they went along, you can tell they put more of a coating on them.
Yeah,
And
my number
but,
5 looks awful. My number 5, I
well,
don't know if it'll show on here, but look at this. This is my number 5. It fills up the whole square. That's one. That's not
well, yeah,
multiples.
I think,
That's literally just one
yeah,
glop.
yeah. It was
It's
just
even got
like it was actually number five was pretty decent, but I guess with the way they're doing it, some people are doing it like not. I guess some people were telling me that they weren't doing it the challenge correctly or something, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I never heard.
doing it,
What's that?
not doing it correctly. How so?
Well, some were like, you know how some of them got the couple peanuts in each packet thing or in each little square. Well, some of the people are only doing like one little section of the peanut that's in each square, then going on to the next one, rather than doing the whole peanut thing that's in each square, and then going to the next one
Yeah,
or something like that. From what the guy was telling me. I mean, but I
I've
wasn't
got
watching too
3
many
in
of the videos of the people doing them.
the number 1 and number 2 look like nothing. They look like peanuts. And then the number 3 and 4 and 5 are like dark. But I've got 3 number 1, 3 number 2, 3 number 3, and then 2 number 4 and 1 number 5.
What
That's
I think
why
happened,
number 1 and
yeah,
number 2 are
yeah.
real coated, and then number
Number
is
one looked
coated.
number one looked like it barely had anything on it. And then
Yeah, it's
number two had more. And then but I think
number
what
4
happened with
is super
the one
coated.
you got for number five,
And
I
then
think what you got for number 5, it has like
my
what's
number
up?
4 is nothing though. I've only got 2 peanuts in there, but then my number 5 is like the giant nut, like the biggest
What's
blob.
that? Well, it looks
It
kind of
was
like
on
a couple of
the
them
store
got
right
kind of
here,
stuck
back.
together in the coating or something.
Yeah, I mean it's
But
probably 2 or 3 peanuts, but it's like
all
a
you can just
and a
stuck
half of
together.
powder. It's like all
Yeah,
powder in there.
yeah. It's actually, I mean, for the heat that comes in with as they progressively, progress, it's actually got. Uh, I was just like, if they would actually start selling stuff, peanuts like that in actual packets rather than just single ones, then I think they would probably have a market for it.
But let me
But
ask you this: would you snack on the death nuts? I mean, the number 5 ones. Would you snack on those, or is that just a bit much?
that would depend on the person, but I'd probably go on blind. I mean, I know people, but I mean, people I know around here definitely would not. And I know none of my family members would touch it. But but yeah, I don't know. I'd probably be buying some packages of the number 5. But I mean, if they'd have like a thing where where they would sell, like say if they had like one of those boxes with a variety pack of them with like several ounces a piece in there, like where like those little snack bags or something where they're selling like a few ounces of each different kind in there, then that'd be pretty cool. But no, I don't think they'd do that though. At least I don't see them doing it. But I actually got some Carolina Reaper from that came up with the Reaper because I was at a hot sauce convention a few years ago and I met them at one of their stands and bought some of their Reaper nuts, and then I even ate like a half a Reaper from their stand.
Have you ever gone and looked on death nuts before, like on the website? Because like how you were saying, oh, I wish that they sold those in bigger bags. I went when I first ever heard about the Death Nuts before the Death Nut challenge actually had like come out when it was just being talked about and stuff. I went and looked, and they do sell like big bags of some of the not as hot ones. I don't know if they're some of the same ones that are in the challenge box.
No,
They
no,
do sell bags.
the I did get a bag of the actual Reaper nuts from them, and they're actually pretty decent, but they're not the same.
Yeah,
I mean, they do have heat to them and that, but they're not. They didn't make them quite as strong as the ones in the Death Nut Challenge.
yeah.
I mean, still they'd still be pretty spicy to the average person that doesn't or that they'd be pretty spicy to the person that you know feels like a jalapeno is just spicy enough for them or whatever. But but those Death
Jalapenos
Nut ones,
pretty damn hot.
yeah. But I mean, but those Reaper Nut ones that come in a bigger package, those were actually pretty decent. I mean, they had heat to them, but they're not like those challenge nuts. I mean, those challenge nuts were made to be, to do like little challenges with or whatever. So, but yeah, oh man.
BD Beats, you should get the Death Nuts. You should do it too. I know he wants to do it. He just needs the encouragement. Everybody should encourage him to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the the first like number one has a kick to it, but that's just like it's okay. But I think the number two on there, I think I like the heat better on that, or the flavor better on that one. I mean, regards to flavor wise. I mean, oh yeah. Um,
I caught a huge gar today when I was out fishing. I was throwing a
yeah.
crankbait. Um, Actually, I think I got it in here. One of my buddies in Ohio, actually, he makes these like custom balsa wood crankbaits, and this is one of them. And it's got like an orange top, like yellow body. I've got a bunch of different colors, but this was the one I was actually like field testing
What is
it
that more
on.
like a orangish on top and a little yellowish on the bottom?
Yeah, yeah, it's like a orange top and yellow bottom. I know the lighting in here isn't the best, but yeah, it's just and it's got like a square bill on the front, just a little square bill crankbait, but it's handmade.
Does he? Oh,
Uh,
cool. Does he try to do like designs on them? Like with different designs besides just the two-tone color.
yeah, yeah, he's got different design ones and like different like
Okay.
scaled ones and stuff. This one actually has like a little bit of a scale pattern on it. If I was able to show it, let me see if I can get this one untangled. Um, but yeah, this one though, this orange and yellow one, I was using that because I was fishing a real clear water stream that's got a lot of
Nice.
smallmouth, and both those colors are good smallmouth colors. And I was pulling it through this one hole, and I saw this big like it was probably 3.5 foot long gar, and I had seen it when I waded upstream, and then I came back down, and it was still hanging in there, but I didn't see it. And I honestly was just kind of fishing it for whatever and fishing for bass. I caught a handful of bass on it today, but I pulled it over
Oh, nice.
this hole, and I saw the gar come up and surface and look at it, and I just let it pause, and the lure floated back to the surface, and the current of the water just kind of started to take the lure and drift it slowly to the side. And the gar was sitting there like nose to nose with the lure and like following it as it drifted. And then I just gave it a little bit of a twitch. And right when I twitched it, that fish came over and just grabbed it. And I don't know if you are familiar with gar or like, and these aren't alligator gar, these are long nosed gar, which you do
Yeah.
have up there, but they've got really long, narrow mouths, and there's not a whole lot of much of anything to hook them on, and it's really hard. They're notoriously hard to hook, but I somehow got one of the treble hooks just perfectly in its mouth, and I fought that thing for like 5, 6 minutes, and I took a couple pictures of it in the water with the crankbait in its mouth. And then when I was finally getting down to like try to like land it, oh, I mean, I did land it. I touched it and I like had it in at the edge multiple times, but it kept running out line. And then I was just kind of hesitant about grabbing it because they're so sharp, and the way that the crankbait was hooked in there, if it had started thrashing, it could have thrown one of those treble hooks into my arm or something.
Yeah.
And I just didn't want to get torn up. I've been cut up and wounded by them before, and I didn't have any gloves or anything, which I don't use gloves when I handle fish. But if I had some like protective gloves or something, I would have felt more comfortable to just grab this thing. But it was like a 3.5 foot long gar, and it was really pissed off. And when I finally went to grab it, it like shook its head real good, and the hook threw out, and the fish swam away, which I was happy with because I really didn't honestly want to have to deal with it and unhooking it because their teeth are like needles, and holding their mouth open to get a hook out sucks because the teeth kind of stick out to the sides out of their mouth. So when you grab to pull down on their jaw, like the teeth go into your fingers even if you don't want it to. And
yeah.
yeah, but it was cool. I got a couple of pictures of it. It was fun. That was my highlight of the day today, I guess. That and I caught a big smallmouth on topwater, which was cool. I was throwing this like topwater lure and reeled it over this log, and like right when I got it over the log, this fish just came up and crushed it. And that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yep. Sunday wait I covered a good 3+ miles of river walking through the water, which I mean, walking 3.5 miles is nothing. But when you're walking through the water, it's quite a bit more energy exerted because just that water resistance, it drains you. It was
Yeah.
today though, so that made it better. If it hadn't been overcast, I don't think I would have made it as far as. I think me and my buddy both would have given up like a couple hours before we did, but it was like the perfect day to do it.
Oh, okay.
It was okay. It was great.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yep.
Uh, uh. Sorry, I'm just moving stuff around here, man. Yeah, but I was listening to what you were saying. Yeah.
I,
I
I
don't
was
know. It's
just
been a while since I've been out wading in the river or anything, so. I don't know. It's just been a while since I've done that.
yeah, BD, that Alberta storm is what's throwing me around all over the place too. That's like I'm getting the same thing, and the like projected storm path is like running like straight through Tennessee. It's like the other day it was showing that it was going to hit straight through where I am. Now it's saying it's going to be a little bit east of me, but either way, it's going to be straight through Tennessee, and I'm like in the red on the radar for where that storm's headed. And today it was supposed to rain more, but luckily it held off until about 2:30 this afternoon, and then a good line of thunderstorms rolled through, and then it's been calm ever since. But then tomorrow, I think midday, there's supposed to be some more storms. The
Oh, sorry
prediction,
about the hot camera angle.
but I hate that. I saw Florida was just covered in green earlier, though. Florida's been getting slammed rain from that storm. But by the time it makes it up here with the heat that we have here and just like the way that the geography of the like or the layout of the land works, by the time it gets here, it's not just like green rain. It turns into like red blobs of angry thunderstorm. Kind of sucks. We had a bunch of wind my ground cherry plant like blew over yesterday, and like I was like worried to get the stem. It had blown over
Oh
so
no, the freaking wind, man. The wind annoys the crap. I kind of like have a love-hate relationship with the wind. Sometimes I don't mind it, and a lot of times I get really annoyed by it.
I like a gentle breeze, but I hate strong wind. There's no love-hate for me. It's all hate.
Man, I don't know how many plants I've lost.
I went in like, here's the base of the ground cherry. I went in from like one side with a stick, and then went in from another side with a stick, and then from another side, and kind of did like a little like teepee type structure to like hold the base at, like where it had forked. I did that to like hold it where it was at the center upright. And I've done before with plants that have blown over and let them sit for a while until they harden good and set, and then it'll be fine. And I can even remove the sticks and it'll be fine, but I don't even care if I just leave them there. It's getting loaded down with fruits. I think that might have been part of it. It just, and I was looking at my pictures, and that thing was like tiny like 2 weeks ago. And in 2 weeks' time, the plant like quadrupled in size and started getting loaded down in fruits. So it's just too much.
The freaking wind, though. The wind. There's been so many times I've had plants get damaged because of wind, or killed because of wind, and it's just one of those things. It's like if I could smack whoever's creating wind, I would. Or something, you know. Just one of those things. It's just I get very particular about my plants.
Yeah. Well, at least don't have too many tornadoes and stuff up that way. Some people out a little bit west of me have bad issues with that type of stuff. And even if the tornadoes don't hit there, they still get really crazy winds. I don't know how bad the winds get there. They can get pretty bad here at times. Not as bad as it does like west of here. But
well, the wind can get bad at times around here. I mean, there's times where we get winds. I mean, may not be as bad as some areas, but it can get pretty bad. Like, there's times where winds have gotten up to, 70, 80 miles an hour easily.
Yeah.
I mean, that'll be okay. It's very small doses, but
40 to 60 miles an hour. But I've seen it get higher than that. But 40 to 60 mile an hour wind is not unheard of around here, especially if the right storm's rolling through.
Yeah.
That's a lot to take. I'm just gonna be smart this year and stake a bunch of stuff and have it well protected in case of wind, rather than have wind come through and then have to deal with trying to fix things. One of my plans, which I hadn't acted on it yet, which really I don't need it yet because my plants are still small, and also the plan that I have to fix the problem hadn't really gone into action. And by that, I mean that my plan is I'm going to go harvest a bunch of river cane, because there's, especially in the neighborhood right up the street from me, there's a bunch of big patches of river cane that grow, but it hadn't hardened quite enough. Like they shoot off new growth and stuff, and it'll be kind of soft. And then when it starts really heating up in the middle of the summer, when it hardens to where it's like a good, and it's bamboo, but they just call it river cane. It's like wild bamboo that grows around here by the river. And it doesn't get to any bigger than about maybe a half inch or 3/4 of an inch thick, but it's perfect for plant stakes, and it grows straight, long, tall pieces. And I'm gonna go harvest a bunch of that and bring a bunch of that back and cut chunks and use that for plant stakes this year rather than go out and buy stuff, because that would cost a fortune. And I've got
I know
basically,
that. I know at stores they really like charging for the bamboo.
yeah, and I can get that stuff by the truckload for free right up the road. Just take a little bit of effort, but honestly, it wouldn't even take very much effort, and it's a mile or less away from my house, and I'd rather just save the money. I'm cheap.
No, I mean it's just I've learned that with the gardening, and that sometimes the most sometimes the stuff that works, some of the better ways are stuff you don't really have to pay much or barely anything at all for. So, uh, and it's just what you come up with. You got to try to find little ways that are kind of creative in your own ways to get them to work.
Yeah, I've been trying to creative as I can this year, and one of the creative things that I did was for my containers, rather than go pay a fortune for dirt, especially for a couple of my contest plants. And I just did it as an experiment, and I don't know how well it's going to work, but I'd say as of right now, I'm really doing good, and I think that it's going to work well, and I'm going to be very, very happy with the results. But I'd had this idea of going and rather than buying compost or buying potting mix or whatever and spending a fortune on dirt to fill these giant containers, I had the idea of I'm going to go by the river and dig river compost and get like natural compost from the woods right on the edge of the river. And that was what I did. And I got like a good truckload of it and brought it back to my house. I spread some of the leftover on my back garden, and I took the rest of it and filled some big containers. And my one contest Scotch green is getting big. It's like growing like crazy compared to the three other ones that I planted in the ground. It's just exploded with growth.
Yeah.
I also mixed in some mulch with the dirt when I was doing it. And I did add a little bit of fertilizer, and I've heard back and forth reviews from people saying about like mixing in the mulch with the dirt, but I figured it would help with rather than putting perlite or something in there for like to hold.
Oh yeah. Mulch can work. I mean, it really depends. Some people will say different things because if it's stuff that's been like dyed or has color added to it, then people get worried about it. But
Yeah.
In general, mulch can actually work because all mulch is just basically wood chips.
Well,
And
I had some
average.
people telling me like, and I don't mean in the PLC or anything. I mean like friends that know about that stuff or think they know about that stuff, telling me that, oh, that's not good because it's gonna it'll make nitrogen, but it's gonna like suck the nitrogen out of it as it's breaking down and stuff. And I don't know. I heard all kinds of mixed things.
Well, actually, I think it actually can work to a benefit because there's this one spot where that was right over by the house here that a tree used to live there or used to be there. Then it kind of had got a bad spot towards the top of the tree, and then it kind of started splitting, and then it just ended up chopping the tree down and getting it out of there. And yet there's still some old parts of the roots that still kind of were there, but they're breaking down, and they're breaking down into chunks that are kind of similar to mulch almost.
Yeah.
And every so often when I'm digging that up, turning it over, you get a lot of those parts in there. But a lot of plants I'm putting in there are just doing pretty well.
Yeah. Well, just
I'm
short
thinking,
term, from what I've seen, it's doing awesome. And not
I'm,
only
I'm
that,
thinking
but because I
you'll
got,
probably have some pretty good luck with that because after given the time, it'll break down, it'll add more material, to the what you're growing in. So
and
you should do pretty well.
the main dirt that I used was a mixture of river dirt and also actual compost, because the spot that I went and dug was the spot that a landscaping crew used to use as a dump area. And so they would dump all their like
Yeah.
debris, and they even dumped like potting mixes and all kinds of different things in there. So it's just like extremely nutrient rich, and it's a big area. There's a lot more dirt there that I can get. But aw, she's all tired.
She decided to take my pillow.
But
But
yeah, this
yeah,
dirt
she's
and full of stuff and doing awesome.
yeah.
And I'd had the idea for a while, and I just kind of decided that I was going to go about it and see how it worked this year. I'd kind of talked about the idea and thrown it around for a while, but I didn't ever act on it. And then I'd waited until the last minute to fill my containers, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to do that because that was what I talked about doing. And I'm happy so far with my choice on that. And I think that the plants are going to do really well in it. But yeah, like how you were talking about the tree that got taken down and how there's still parts and decomposing, breaking down pieces. That's how it is in the dirt that I got too. But I did mix in mulch with it on top of that. Like it was just the dirt that I got from there, but it came out of the woods, or like a kind of wooded area. So there was a lot of sticks and small limbs and stuff. Plus, it was a compost pile where this landscaping crew used to throw a bunch of stuff. So there's all kinds of different decomposing things in there. But most of the little pieces of branches and wood and stuff, you can go and you can just crumble them into dust. Like they're breaking down really good, and it's got a good bit of that in there along with like this rich black dirt, and it's got a little bit of silty sandy stuff in there from just being on the river bank and that river silt. It's good dirt. I've had this idea for a while, and I've gone about it to see how it works, and this is my first experiment with it. And after this season, I'll see how.
Yeah, it's not bad getting a lot of that stuff in there. I mean, if it's just plain old bolts that got to throw in there, then it shouldn't be a problem. I mean,
Yeah,
it just end up breaking.
I didn't mix in too much mulch, but what I did was I did probably maybe 15% mulch out of all the containers. There's like 15% mulch mixed in with the mix and all of everything. I didn't go overboard on it, but I just did it like as a filler, and also to help with the moisture and stuff and help decompose things. And it's just an idea.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't hurt to experiment around,
Yeah. I think it's going to turn out good, though. From what I've seen so far, I'm pretty impressed, and I've had rapid growth compared to plants that are in the ground in good dirt, and they're really not doing nothing compared to the ones that are in those containers. So it'll be fun to see what the comparison is.
Yeah, it'd be good to experiment at least with it. But yeah. Um, I'm looking forward to how this one cross I got in the Arrow Garden is going to turn out, but I want to pull it out of there and have to transplant it to the soil. But, uh, and hold on a second. That's it right there.
Yeah.
I mean, but then there's this guy.
Have you
Been debating on whether
have you tried taking one from the Air Garden and transplanting it to soil yet?
not too many directly to soil, but I have a handful of them that I pulled out of the Arrow Garden.
I know you put them into cracky and stuff, but have you taken one of
Yeah.
them and put it into soil?
No, I haven't done the transferring them to soil as of yet. I mean, some of them I probably should, or at least consider it. I mean,
I'm not experienced with that at all, but from what I understand, it's not so hard. You just make a hole
yeah,
and put it in there.
yeah. I just got to decide soon for that smaller one, because I mean, the sooner I decide to do it at this point, the easier, the less time it will take to adjust.
Yeah,
I mean, this is the one I took out of the Arrow Garden before, but
yeah, that thing's pushed out like crazy since you cut it back.
I mean, it's still got the lopsided look to it, but this is the side that was out facing the one side outward. And I just had trimmed this side before. That's why this side was a little shorter.
You gonna put
Like,
that in the ground?
huh?
You gonna put that one in the ground? Are you gonna plant that one in the ground?
Oh, I could probably do that with this one. I mean, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to give it a shot. Because I'm sure this one will adjust pretty well.
I'd say it'd probably be a great idea. That thing would get huge.
I mean, I'm probably going to do like a little trim on this one side to kind of even out the sides a little bit. But, uh, um, well, yeah, with that purple scorpion that I got over here, I'm probably going to wait for the one pod on it that's almost ripened, and then the other ones I'll just wait for those to ripen, and then save seeds from it, and then probably give some seeds away. But I mean, if you want some of the seeds, I can give you some of the seeds, but
From the purple
I know you probably won't plant any until next year or something. So
scorpion?
yeah.
What'd you say?
Um, some of the seeds of that purple scorpion I can always.
Yeah,
But
I'd definitely be interested in trying that one. It sounded like it was a nice pod and had a nice look to it.
I mean,
I like
yeah.
start out
I
purple
mean,
and ripen to red. That's pretty cool.
I got a couple tiny pods that are starting on it, but like this one started out like some of them were starting out that really light green color, then turned into the dark color. I'm just wondering how it turned out when it's outside. but it'll be interesting. Oh.
I just read the chat. Thanks, BD. It is ancient compost. It's a great idea. I hope I'll keep everyone informed on that, and hopefully it's gonna work out well. I mean, it seems like it's doing good as of now, and unless something goes awry in my plans between here and harvest, I think I'm gonna do pretty damn good because I've seen some pretty rapid growth out of plants that I have the same plants, same variety, same size before they were planted in the ground, and they're just not anywhere close to the ones that I have in containers.
Yeah,
What's up?
this is really this growing thing going on here. Uh-oh. That's not good. Yeah, I'm going to have to change that water.
I'm honestly probably gonna have to hop off here in a few. I've exceeded the time at which that I set or allotted myself.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Also, I'm going to be hopping off here soon, too, anyway.
I hopped on and hung out. Wasn't doing anything. I was gonna hop on last night. I didn't know that you and I guess Julian and who else hopped on. I crashed early, but who all was on Reptos?
Well, when I hopped on, Russ was on there. Um, uh,
Susie,
what's that?
Susie and Rev, obviously.
Yeah, yeah. And then Julian popped on there, and then And then after a while, we just stopped. We stopped on the live stream, and then just kept going for a while. We kept going for a while after, we stopped doing it. Stopped being, or the live stream aspect stopped. So
Yeah.
we were on to like 3 in the morning. So
Yeah, it sounds about like the last time I was on there late night like that with Susie around and stuff. Same situation. I told him that I was down to hop on, and then I guess around the same time that y'all were going on, he sent me an invite, but I was already like winding down because I had to be in bed. Like I was asleep. I mean, 45 minutes earlier than now yesterday. I don't know. I can't remember. It was either 11 or 11:30 when I went to sleep last night. But I just wanted to get like good rest so I could get up because I knew I was going to be getting up at like 6 a.m. and going
yeah.
fishing.
Well, I know how these live stream things are, man. Like once you get going in there, next thing you know, it's like a couple hours later. It's like, oh man,
Yeah,
it's like
that
I wasn't intending on it, but
I
you
would have
know,
hopped on if it had been a little earlier, and I had intended on it, but I had to charge my phone because I didn't even know that he was going to go live, and then and I didn't know you were going to go live tonight either. You kind of went live late, and I just didn't even
yeah,
know. Otherwise, I
yeah.
would have
I
kind of like,
realized what time it. Yeah, I realized the time it was when I started the stream. I was like, oh man,
yeah, it was like
uh,
9:43 or something when it
something
popped
like
up on
that.
my.
Yeah, but I was just doing a few things, and then I was kind of debating on whether or not I was going to do the stream outside. But then I realized what time it was, and if I would have gotten into the stream a certain way, it would have been dark. And it's just like, yeah.
What time does it get dark there? Do you stay light until past 9?
No, so it's been kind of off and on lately with how late it's been staying until it's somewhat light out. I mean, there's been times lately it'll be like 8 o'clock at night or so, and it'll still be, looks like the sun's still setting and all that. But then at like around 6 in the morning, the sun's like bright and shiny. Uh,
Yeah.
hey, Sophie, you comfortable? You're laying on my stuff over there. Yeah, I'm talking to you, doggy. That's my plant pollinator. Get off that. Move your head. Ugh, that's mine. Silly. Alright. Still works. Come here. It's okay. I know you're sleepy. What? Huh? I know you're warm.
Good night, Scott. I see you say you're heading out. Later, Scott.
Okay.
What's up, Russ?
uh,
Looks like Poop G needs some help.
yeah, something. Yeah, that's right, BD. Shit. Uh,
Somebody help out Poop G. He's in need.
yeah,
Might
they
just
may need some
need a wipe.
assistance there. What's that?
I say you might just need a little wiping.
Yeah, he probably needs an extra hand. Hmm. Oh, man. Oh, dang it. Oh, why do I keep forgetting to do that? Oh, oh no. Ah, I'm going to have to drag that pineapple plant outside. Good Lord. That's going to be a trek. I'm going to have to bring it to the other side of the house, all the way down a couple flights of stairs, and outside. Ugh. Then the other side of the yard. Ugh. Good grief. Then I'm going to have to start separating about half a dozen pineapple plants. Ugh. Oh boy. There's an undertaking. Oh, there's a project. That's something I could probably do tomorrow. Maybe. Oh, dang. I don't have enough soil. Oh. Oh, man. Figures. Sounds like somebody's having a poopy situation.
Yeah, I guess I'm probably about to crash here soon.
Yeah. I was about to say I probably should get off here, man. I'm going to have to get up early in the morning. Oh, man. Yeah, I was just having a realization of this whole thing with the pineapple plant. Ugh.
Yeah. I just realized it was already almost midnight, and I like sworn that I was going to go to sleep around 11, but that didn't happen. It's all right. I think that it's going to rain
Yeah.
tomorrow, like, around 9 or 10 o'clock, which is going to throw off my plans. I've kind of been having to play it by ear, and I've been keeping in check with the weather, which you can never trust the weather, but from what they say, it's going to rain in the morning. So we'll see.
Yeah. This
I'm
whole
going to play
rainy
it by
weather's been kind of weird. So, but thing is, the weather's been off for the past few years anyway. So it's kind of like it sucks.
the weather's been kind of off my whole life, but that's part of living in Middle Tennessee. You never know whether you need a jacket or to go out in shorts and t-shirt. I guess except in the middle of the summer, that's pretty predictable anywhere. But our weather fluctuates so much here because where we're at in the country, we get like those dips from up north and then those swings from down south. So and then stuff blowing in from the west, and if it's moving the right way, stuff coming in from the east. It really just depends. But our weather fluctuates so much, especially during the winter, which is kind of nice because it generally makes it to where we aren't like how you guys are, where you get a lot of really cold weather up there. We don't get so much cold weather. We also don't get so much warm weather like other places do. Um, we're kind of in between, so it's like it may be like 70 degrees one day, and then it may be in the 30s the next day. It just depends on like the way that those pressure fronts are moving and the way that that line is going across the country, because it'll kind of go down and dip and come up and like move around and stuff through our area. And it really just depends on what the weather does, but we get a lot of
Yeah.
variable temperatures throughout the year.
Yeah, this is oh no, the weather's been just kind of. I wish it was like more like, or I'd like it to be more like it was a handful of years ago. It was just like it started. The weather would start has started like getting pretty warm at the end of February, and then it got up to like the 70s in early March, and then just stayed warm all the way to like in late November.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
it
was
was just
like
like,
that a couple here, and then last year we had a little bit of a late start, but it was still warm by like late April, like warm enough to be safe.
yeah,
And then uh, we had kind of an early end to it last year. It was more around like the middle mid end of October is about when we started like having like warning of frost. And our first frost happened in October. I remember it was before Halloween.
uh,
Uh, I don't remember exactly when it was. But the crazy part was, and like I was talking about how it goes up and down, it's like a blessing in the winter because you don't have to deal with those cold temps, but then it's a curse during like the end of growing season because you can have so much more time to grow if you can get past those frosts, but those frosts are inevitable. And so we'd have like a couple frosts, and then everything would get completely toasted, and then a week later or a few days later it would be back in the 70s and like
yeah,
upper 50s at night. And that was our end to the season last year. And I had some plants that pulled through and kept going, and I had some plants that just completely shut down after that first good frostbite. But I don't know. It's just part of it. I had already harvested enough that I wasn't too concerned about it. I just kind of let everything go. I see a lot of people chop down their plants and hang them up, and I told my buddy he should do that. And he did that in uh, his garden, and we hung up a bunch of plants in like the loft to his barn, and let some of them ripen up. And I went over there like a week later and harvested a bunch more peppers off of those. And
yeah.
that worked out.
Oh
But
man. Yeah, then one character that popped up in here was a little different. Yeah,
who
that was funny. But yeah,
I
um,
wonder if he's kinfolk with Warren G.
I think
Regulus?
that character had been a little kid or something.
Yeah,
I don't know. That strikes me as like a little name that somebody really young would write in. or just somebody being silly. I don't know. Who knows? But shoot. Yeah. So when I have some of those purple scorpion seeds, I'll send you some. Huh?
That would be cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm not in any rush for those. I mean, just sometime,
Yeah.
like during the season or something.
Yeah. Those ones
Obviously,
have turned out pretty interesting. I mean, and like as I mentioned, they're in literally like a little pint-sized container thing. You know, one of those ones where you can get like say if you get a little starter plant in a store, they're in a little pint-sized little container. It's like the same thing.
honestly, rather than send me some seeds, like just wait and at some point once you like have like some different varieties of pods, just like send me a few pods or something and send me a pod of that.
I mean, what is that? What you rather want is get some pods?
Well, I mean, it would be cool to. I like trying stuff before I like grow it out. Just that's always the
Okay.
best way of. I mean,
Well,
you
yeah,
could, but I'm just
I'll see
saying.
what I can do.
Then
I have to. It was really yeah. I'll see what I have to do about that. Um,
all I'm saying is that the season is young, and I know that plant's going to produce a lot more pods. And once you have a bunch of different pods, like if you just sent me like a handful of different pods and threw one of those in, I could save the seeds from that and like have it for next season because I'm not gonna plant those now or this season at all. So I mean, I don't really
yeah.
have to have the seeds now. And if you sent a pod of it, then I'd get to try it. Plus, the seeds would just be that much fresher for next year.
Yeah.
It doesn't
I
matter to
just
me
I
either
just
way. It's just a few seeds for me and
I
send
just
to me.
noticed this pot on the arrow garden.
It just pops up.
I just noticed the pot. It's different compared to these kind of shapes. Man.
Kind of looks like a
Yeah,
shishito or something.
yeah, something it looks something like that. But yeah, shoot. Um, yeah. All right. Well, yeah. I'll see what I can do about hooking you up with some pods, man. I have to see about what pods would be all ripened at the same time in order to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, like I said, it doesn't have to be anytime soon. Just sometime. I mean, I'm sure
Oh
I'll.
yeah, yeah, I get
I'm
what you're saying. I mean, I'm just saying in general.
right.
I have to wait and see how many pods of what are ripened around the same time those ones are.
Well, we can figure it out. There's a long season ahead.
Yeah,
There's no rush on that. I'm not in any rush.
I got you. I got you on that one, man. It's
I'm sure I can probably
I know you're not in a rush about it.
figure out some
I
sort of
know you're.
send you some pods of some stuff I've got going too.
Yeah, I mean, I'll see what I can do about that. Um, yeah, but oh, still no luck in finding any of those golden ghost pepper plants around the area.
Yeah.
I've been seeing I've been seeing people posting up about them, and it's like some of the stores out here haven't gotten any golden ghost peppers. It's like it's like I wouldn't mind getting one of those, see how they turn out. I mean, being it's one of those type of plants from the stores. But,
Yeah.
but all right, man. Shoot.
Yeah, I'm about to crash. I'm gonna call.
Yeah, about to get ready to call it a night here. Um, let's see.
I guess BD's about the only one hanging in.
Well, it says there's a few viewers, but
Well, one of them's
I guess
me.
there could be somebody else lurking around in there.
Well, I mean, if it's a few viewers, you got to keep in mind one of the views is me because I've got another phone pulled up. And so if you've got another phone pulled up or some device, that's another view. So that's a couple of them, right?
But you know, it could also be Mr. Poopy too.
Well, Poop G is Warren G's cousin. And
Yeah,
good dude. Don't talk
he's little poop.
about me.
He's little Poopy G. But yeah, but yeah. Let's see. Well, hey, me and D, if you do find some of any of those golden ghost peppers, let me know. I'll be looking forward to trying some of those.
I
I
still
was
have
hoping to get one of those
to
plants.
look for any cool
I was hoping to
plants.
get one of those plants, but
I guess the local nursery down the street might be closed tomorrow, but I need to go maybe.
uh,
I guess they'll be closed Monday. Maybe next week sometime I'll go and check out. There's this nursery down the road. And I've been meaning to go check down there and see what kind of cool stuff they got because they sometimes have some cool things. I haven't been by there.
yeah, some of those nurseries can be pretty nice to go to because sometimes they can have just some random varieties that you don't normally get to.
Yeah,
But
it was the one that I was
yeah,
talking where I still maybe even one day later down the road might like try to look into either doing some type of part-time work there. I mean, I talked about it one time before about like maybe even just like volunteering there just to like get in and like know the people and stuff because it's a really cool place and I like where it's at and like it's a cool nursery and it's like good people and they got a lot of nice stuff and they deal with the more like high end clientele. It's like a nice nursery, but they also have decent deals on
yeah.
stuff.
There's
Just
this
the
farm
area
near me that's
then is like a lot of rich people, so they're more dealing to high
uh,
end people. And it's a cool
yeah, there's
place. It
this
would be
farm
a
near me that
place.
they said they would hire people for the season, but they'd only pay them in produce. It's like, yeah, they got a full time job, and then if they want me to work there, they go and pay me in produce. It's like, it'd be tempting because they get some interesting peppers. But
Yeah, well, this place would definitely like pay like cash. I know that that's how they would work,
yeah,
or maybe not cash, but a check. It would be money. It wouldn't be. They wouldn't pay him produce, but there might be like a bonus is like getting some stuff too.
yeah,
It would just be
yeah.
cool.
Who
And
knows? They might even hook you up with some nice fertilizer or some nice soil to use. Who knows?
yeah, all kinds of different things. Plus, I mean, it would just be like a good learning experience just to be around
Yeah,
those type of people in that sort of environment and pick up different things that I mean everybody has their own
yeah,
style of things, so it's not like I'd learn a whole lot, but there might be little tips and things that you could figure out along the way. It's always good to be around that kind of like environment. I just think it would be a cool place to do some time.
yeah, yeah. It'd be pretty cool. I mean,
if I get over there in the next week or so, I'll take some pictures. It's like a really cool nursery, and just like I like their layout of how they've got things. And you wouldn't even know this place was there if you didn't like know it was there, kind of deal, because it's kind of nestled back in the woods. But then they've got like a big once you like drive in the drive, and it's right off a main highway. But if you didn't like know it was there, you wouldn't really know it was there, kind of deal. It's kind of cool.
yeah. Some of those cool places are those type of places that are just kind of out of the way, off into the side of the way. You wouldn't really notice unless you really looked.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's a little bit after midnight. I think I'll go ahead and call it a night for now, and then 'cause I gotta get up early and do a few things.
Yeah.
Uh,
I need to.
yeah, I'm sure you got some. I'm sure you got some things that you need to take care of early in the morning as well. So,
I got a ton of
I
things
mean,
I need to do tomorrow. I have more stuff to do tomorrow than I have time to do it tomorrow. But
yeah,
also gonna just kind of play it by ear because the storms may end up rolling in the morning, and I may have more time to
yeah,
do stuff around here than I thought. But otherwise, my main objective tomorrow is to go catch some fish because me and my buddy are just planning on that. Like, he doesn't get much time away from his fiance and stuff to get out and go fishing for more than, I mean, an hour, 2 hours at a time. And because she's out of town, he's like trying to take advantage of it. Plus, he doesn't have to work until Tuesday. So this weekend, me and him are planning on just like hitting it as hard as we can with whatever time the weather permits. But I also got a lot of stuff going on here, and that's completely aside from taking care of the gardens and stuff. And I got more things to do than I have time in the day to do them. I got to do a bunch of laundry tomorrow and all kinds of stuff. I honestly meant to start
yeah,
on that tonight, but I never get around to it. But it's all good. Tomorrow's another.
yeah,
I'll probably just crash here in a few and get up in the morning and be super productive and get as much done as I can. Then go out fishing and then do whatever else after that, depending on how long I go out for and what the weather does. It all just depends on what that tropical storm down south is doing.
yeah.
But thanks for having me on. It was fun. Glad I got to come chill for a little bit. Stayed way longer than I intended to, but it's all good.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's no problem. You can, I mean, you're more than welcome to come on the live stream and everything. So, I mean, yeah. Oh, but I just know it's getting pretty late now, and I know I gotta get up early and do some things. I know you got some things you gotta, or got in mind to do.
Yeah, my plan is to be asleep at like 11:30, and it's
Yeah,
12.
I was having plans on getting to sleep at a certain time too, but then the time got away from me. So,
Last night my plan was the same: be asleep at 11:30, and I pulled that one off last night. I just like
yeah,
I kept saying bye in the chat on the live stream, and I said bye like 3 times, and then I was like, I just gotta stop this because I just keep saying bye, but I don't leave, and I just finally exited out, and I just said fuck it. That's why I didn't even know that you and Julian went on there. that might have enticed me to stay up
Yeah.
longer, which I need. I'm glad I just exited out. I just shut it off, laid down, went to sleep. It was all good. I slept good too.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. That's the way it goes with those streams, though. The streams just seem to, you get to talking, next thing it just is a lot later than you think.
Yeah, because Rev sent me an invite, and I was like, man, like I wish you had sent that a little bit earlier, because I would have been completely down. But I was worn out. I was like already laying down at that point. I was just done.
Yeah.
Later, BD. Later, anybody else out there. Hope everybody has a great rest of your Memorial Day weekend
All right. Yeah.
there.
May everybody have a good Memorial Day and all that. And but all
Say
right, if you want to say anything, Rob.
that's all I got. Just
Okay.
everybody have a good one and stay safe.
And everybody try and be well and have a nice cookout and everything. Have a good one. Be safe.